So for this video, I'm going to be seated. I don't usually do the seated, obviously. I do it standing. And of course, I don't usually have this in the middle of my basement either. So basically, you want to have some sort of shuttle. You may have a stick shuttle that you use. I tend to prefer boat shuttles myself. In a boat shuttle, basically, you've got a metal pin right here, okay? The bobbin will go on it, okay? So in order for us to continue on, remember I talked about the fact that we're going to do a few rows of a contrast thread just to straighten out all the threads before we actually start weaving, okay? So I've already done that with one bobbin. I want to show you how I actually ended up doing that, okay? So we'll keep that there. It's probably going to fall off, okay? So actually maybe we'll put both of these down, okay? So I'm going to take the first one here, all right? And basically, you want to be able to tie it on, but when we actually throw the shuttle through the actual shed that we looked at earlier to make sure that all the threading was correct, you want to make sure that you don't knot it so that when the actual shuttle ends up going through at the very end, when this unwinds, the thread unwinds with it and is left behind. You don't want that shuttle to get stuck somewhere in that shed, okay? So in order to be able to do that, all right, we are going to, all right, I'm just going to do a single knot. That's it. I'm not doing a double knot. It should be able to pull right off, okay? So let's do that. I start with going from underneath, just one little knot there. And then when you start basically winding, so this basically is a manual bobbin winder. It's by Leclerc, which is the same as my loom, but there must be different companies out there, I'm pretty sure. There are electric bobbin winders as well. They go obviously a whole lot faster than the basic ones. Now I do have 3 cats, so let's hope that they don't walk in as I do this, because they will love the ball of yarn rolling around on the ground. So as I'm going through, okay, you want to kind of just maintain an even tension, and you're just kind of going to go across, back and forth. I'm going to fill it up as much as I possibly can. Now keep in mind with the boat shuttle, it can be full enough as long as it can rotate freely within that the boat space, okay? So let's start doing it here. All right, just gonna go across. Obviously, when you get more and more used to it, you can go a lot faster. Okay, these ends eventually will, eventually that will stop. Okay, there we go. And you don't want to do it so wide, okay, at the ends that it's going to slip off, because that's going to be a bit of a nightmare when that starts to get tangled up as you go along. Okay, so I do mine a little bit fatter in the middle than I do on the sides, okay? So let's take this off. I'm going to cut that off. Oh, just going to put that over right there. I'm going to, there we go, check here, okay? Now if you look at the boat shuttle, okay, on this side there is a gap where the thread's actually going to come out of, okay? So when I put it on, all right, I take the boat shuttle off. The way I usually put it on, I don't know why, but when I actually put it on there, I want it so that the thread is coming underneath, and it's going to come out underneath through this hole right here, okay? So basically I don't know how I'm going to do this here backwards, but okay. So I'm putting it on. I'm just going to put it through that gap underneath here. Okay, so let's just figure that out here. All right, oops, all right. There you go. Hopefully you're seeing it. Not that it matters at this point. Okay. So I've been able to pull it right through, okay, and then I just put it down. And I want to make sure that it does move freely, because if it's so wide that it's, you know, stuck or it's there's a friction, it's not going to travel through your shed very nicely, okay, until, you know, some of that is actually wound down a little bit, okay. So basically, again, let's do another one. All right. And again, you can do several bobbins at a time. You don't have to, okay. I tend to do that so that I don't have to get up, especially when it's thicker yarn. You're getting up like every 5 minutes to do that. So I might do 3 or 4, use those up, then get up and do another 3 or 4. If you happen to have thinner thread and one bobbin lasts you, 15 minutes or 20 minutes of weaving, it is good ergonomically to be able to get up and move around a little bit so you don't get stuck in one place, okay? And you don't start to have a sore back, sore legs, etc., etc. Okay? So again, same thing. Whoop. You see what happened there? Okay, not the end of the world, just back her up. Okay? All right. And again, a little bit fatter in the middle. All right. That's good for now. Just going to cut that off. I'll leave that there and clean that up afterwards. And that's basically the winding of the bobbin there before we get started back onto the loom. All right, hope that helps.